Good morning. What class would you like to take? I guess we're doing history. I never took a history class yet, so this is all new territory. With Miss Ryfort? Miss Ryfort. Let's go. Class will begin soon. Okay. Wow, taking 2 full classes up until the final exams took more than an hour and took more than an hour. Took more than an hour. Oh, it looks like we're learning about Pokeballs in this class, as you can see from behind the teacher. Took more than an hour. These classes start taking a long time. I see we have some new students here with us today. My name is Rayfor. I'll be the one to impart knowledge of the past to your little minds. History is a wonderful thing, truly splendid. Oh, that's a Hisuian Pokeball. We're learning about the ancestors of us. The lives of our ancestors throughout history forge the path to the present in which we live. Today we shall learn about the most mysterious location in all Paldea, the Great Crater. As you are all aware, the massive crater known as the Great Crater of Paldea exists in the heart of our region. The area inside the crater is called Area Zero, and research of its geological strata and material composition has shown that the crater is in fact over 1 million years old. It was long believed that a certain something rested at the bottom of this mysterious crater. Perfect time to make eye contact, young Kiara. Answer me this. What exactly was believed to rest in the depths of the crater inside Area Zero? What was believed to rest down there? A treasure? That is correct. You are a surprisingly clever one. I see you did your homework prior to coming to my class. That's right. Some believe that a treasure more valuable than anything else in the world rested in the depths of the Great Crater. So much for dreams of treasure hunting, though, as a lab has been built in those very same depths. Before I forget, you would all do well to remember that the Great Crater and Area Zero are both off limits to all but those who have official business there. Do not dare to entertain the foolish notion of gallivanting off to Area Zero in search of riches. It is no place for children dreaming of treasure and adventure. Besides, if it were at all possible to investigate the area, I would surely be the first to do so. Oh, is that the time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. I love how we're eventually going to learn about Hisui and Pokeballs. I love that. Because, they never mentioned anything about Hisui in this game, so we're finally going to learn about it. I love that. Give me one moment, you guys. Alright, let's go and take History 2 with Mr. Ryfort. That is not a name, but sure. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now part of history. Oh my god, Misty. It's now part of history. Today we will continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. About 2,000 years ago, this region came under the rule of the Paldean Empire. Historical accounts describe the Paldean Emperor as being quite the dictator. This emperor also zealously believed the legend of the treasure that rests deep within Area Zero. I must mention that the civilizations of our ancestors were not as developed as ours is today. People back then were far more likely to believe in mysterious legends, magic, and beings beyond human comprehension. In an attempt to gain the power To stand against Paldea's neighboring countries, the Emperor sent people in droves to join the hunt for the fabled treasure in Area Zero. Ah, perfect time to make eye contact. Answer me this. Approximately how many years ago was it that the Paldean Emperor began to rule this region? You said 2, right? That is correct. You are a surprisingly clever one, aren't you? I see you're listening intently to my lecture. The answer is about 2,000 years ago. That is when the great era of exploration began. However, it is said that not a single adventurer sent out by the Emperor ever reached the depths of Area Zero. Was it the punishing journey itself that barred their way, or perhaps some unknown creature? The resounding failure of this great era of exploration also certainly heightened the air of mystery surrounding the crater. Oh, what I wouldn't give to explore Area Zero in its untouched state at that time. I suppose I could only hope for the swift intervention of a time machine. Oh, is that the time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. We will unravel more of history's enigmas together next time. Okay. 2,000 years ago, there was a great era of exploration. Whatever that means. History 3, let's do it. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now part of history. Today we'll continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. As you should remember from our last class, Area Zero's great creative exploration began about 2,000 years ago. This era lasted for approximately 1,000 years, but not a single soul was able to venture all the way to the deepest reaches of Area Zero. Having poured much of its human and financial resources into the exploration of Area Zero, for so long the Paldean Empire fell into decline. 200 years later, or 800 years ago, the Empire and its surrounding nations united into one entity. This was the formation of Paldea as we know it today. Ah yes, this very academy where you're now filling your young minds with knowledge was also apparently established at that time. In fact, the school building, though certainly having undergone repairs over the years, is just as it was when it was built so long ago. This very structure is a piece of history. Ah, things of old are truly splendid. I would truly prefer it not to have the Pokeball portion, though, a relatively new addition. I like that Pokeball. What are you talking about? Perfect time to make eye contact. Let's see if you've been listening to my lecture. Tell me, approximately how many years ago was this academy of ours established? 800 years ago. Correct, I see the look of concentration on your face was indeed just that. I hate nothing more than when a student only pretends to listen. This academy was constructed exactly 805 years ago, to be precise. In other words, your academy here is 805 years old. At the time, it offered state-of-the-art facilities and a uniquely innovative curriculum. As such, people used to say, those seeking knowledge need look no further than the grapes of Paldea. That's right, they were referring to Hoover Academy. It is said that this proverb of sorts was even used outside of the Paldea region. Is that the time already? I must have gotten swept up in filling your minds with knowledge. This ends today's lesson. The next class will be our midterm exam. Bring the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. I will try. I will try. Alright. History midterm. Let's go. Don't be tardy. I will try not to be tardy. Greetings, my little students. It is time for our midterm examination. Summon your historical knowledge from the dark recesses of your mind and answer the questions. What is the name of the geological formation in the center of the Paldea region? The Great Crater of Paldea. What was long believed to rest in the depths of Area Zero? Treasure. Imagine a school. Imagine a school was believed to rest at the bottom of the crater. How many years ago did the Paldean Empire begin to rule this region? Approximately 2,000 years ago. How many years ago was this academy built? 805 years to be exact. Those seeking knowledge need look no further than the grapes of Paldea. Your time is up. Put your writing utensils down. That last question was a freebie. Even the least capable of you surely padded your score there. I sincerely hope you did anyway. So ends our midterm examination. You may ask for your scores at the school's front desk. Alright then. I'm actually confident in this one. I'm actually confident in that one. Those numbers I remember. Unlike math. You must get 3 questions correct. You answered 5 of 5 correct questions correctly. That's a passing score. Congratulations. Alright. Keep doing your best. History 4. With Miss Rayfort. Class will begin soon, don't be tardy. Maybe the T is silent in her name, so it's really Rayfor. Honestly, that sounds better to me. If her name is Rayfor and not Rayfort. Greetings. Whatever you did yesterday, it is now part of history. I was hoping to continue unraveling the marvels that history has presented to us today. However, I imagine your ability to concentrate has been spectacularly derailed by my midterm. I suppose changing things up for fun and variety may be a good idea every now and then. So allow me to tell you an old fairy tale that has been passed down in Paldea for generations. Once upon a time, there was a king who very much enjoyed collecting treasure. He was particularly fond of treasures from other countries. One day, a merchant from the east heard rumors of this king and came to meet him. The merchant laid out 4 treasures in front of the treasure-loving king. The 4 treasures were as follows: a vessel, a sword, a set of tablets, and a set of beads. Seeing such rarities before him, the king leaped for joy. He showered the merchant with gold coins and claimed all 4 of the treasures for himself. Ah, perfect time to make eye contact. I said one of the treasures was a set of tablets. What do you think these tablets were? Wooden planks for writing on? Correct. Your daily pursuit of knowledge serves you well. These particular tablets were wooden and used as a writing medium in the East in ancient times. As you may know, they fell out of popular use as paper became more universally available. For the king to consider these paper substitute treasures, they must have been of superb quality. That, or perhaps they had some amazingly profound teachings written on them. So the king obtained these 4 treasures, and on that very night, it is said that a terrible disaster rained down upon his castle, reducing it to rubble by dawn. Is that the time already? I wasn't done with my story, but alas, so ends today's lesson. If you're interested in how the story ends, you may come see me outside class hours. Okay, I won't do that, but great. I will not do that. Let's just take the next class. History 5. Class will begin soon, don't be tardy. Alright then. History is surprisingly easier than math in this game for me. Greetings, my little students. Whatever you did yesterday is now part of history. Today we'll continue to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us. I trust that you all remember our lesson before the midterm exam concerning the Great Crater of Paldea and its interior, Area Zero. This mysterious crater captured the imaginations of many, including the former Paldean emperor. 200 years ago, a group of explorers claimed to have finally reached its depths. The name of the team that achieved this great feat was the Area Zero Expedition. The team is said to have been made up of Paldea's best and brightest. Skilled battlers, brilliant researchers, talented individuals of all kinds. Among the list of team members was the name of a man who was an author and brilliant natural historian, Heath. After returning from the expedition of Area Zero, he used his literary talent to record the events of the expedition and publish them. Ah, perfect timing to make eye contact, young Kiara. Let's see if you were paying attention. What was the name of the team that first made it to the deepest reaches of the Great Crater? The Area Zero Expedition. Correct. To pick up on and remember a term I simply slipped into the flow of the lecture. You really are quite the clever one. The correct name of this team was the Area Zero Expedition. The record of their activities written by the expedition member Heath can be found in bookstores and the like even today. This record is known as the Violet Book. At the time, this entire region of Paldea was absolutely buzzing about Area Zero. The Violet Book was so popular that practically everyone had a copy. However, the book itself was full of fantastical descriptions and illustrations of things that could never be thought of as real. The masses began to call Heath a liar. Even the truth of the expedition making it to the bottom of the crater was called into question. The Violet Book was condemned to the shelves of used bookstores as just another book of wild paranormal stories. There's a copy of one on the bookshelves on the ground floor of the entrance hall. Feel free to have a read if you're interested. Is that the time already? I must have gotten swept up filling your mind with knowledge. That ends today's lesson. Okay. Talking about the Violet Book, that is definitely a part of history. Yeah, I remember the name Heath. I believe Arvin mentioned it more. It said in the Violet Book. Alright, History 6 with Miss Ryfort. Ryfort. That's how it's spelled, so that's how I'm pronouncing it. Ryfort. Greetings, my little student. Whatever you did yesterday is now a part of history. Today is our last class, so I would like to unravel the marvels that history has presented to us one last time. In our last class, I taught you about Area Zero expedition of 200 years ago, correct? Alas, 200 years is not that long ago at all. How unfortunate that our history lessons must march so inexorably toward the future. Would it not be more of an adventure to march toward the past instead? To start from our present and study history in reverse? That might be hard to follow. Indeed, it may be difficult to understand the flow of events, how one thing leads to another, if we were to trace history in reverse. I suppose I have no choice but to let the flow of time carry us toward the future. In this last class of ours, I shall fill your minds with the history of terrestrial phenomenon. The technology behind terror orbs has its origins in Area Zero. Even after the Area Zero expedition supposedly reached the crater's deepest depths, others continued to explore the area. And around 140 years ago, Pokémon cloaked in a mysterious light were discovered there. As you may have already guessed, these were in fact terrestrialized Pokémon. However, when those who discovered these Pokémon brought them out of Area Zero, the light faded and the terrestrial phenomenon remained a mystery for quite some time. However, 10 years ago, that might as well be present day, a certain someone who you have definitely heard of unraveled this mystery. Alright, answer me this. What is the name of the famous professor who unraveled the terrestrial phenomenon mystery? Professor Turo. Correct. To think that you, a new transfer to our academy, could correctly answer this question. You must be very diligent in your studies. Approximately 10 years ago, a professor named Turo unraveled the mystery of the terrestrial phenomenon. He discovered that the shining crystals down in Area Zero, or rather the energy they emit, is what causes Pokemon to terrestrialize. This led the professor to invent Terror Orb technology and to develop a practical use for it. This technology was then shared with both the Pokemon League and our academy. Rumor has it that Director Clavel was one of the researchers on the professor's team. Alas, the story is much less exciting now that someone we all know appears in it. Modern history truly is dull, isn't it? Thus ends my history classes. Our next session will be the final exam, bringing the wonders of history to the forefront of your minds in preparation. I was really hoping she'd have an actual class based on Hisui, but she did not. Sad. That is very sad. I thought she'd mention it or something. She mentioned 2,000 years ago, but she didn't even mention the word Hisui or Pokeballs back then looked like this or something, you know? I was hoping she would, but it's cool. Let's just try to pass this test. I think I could do it. I think I could do it first try. Let's try. First try, let's try. It's time for our final examination. Summary historical knowledge from the dark recesses of your mind and answer the questions. What is the area within the Great Crater Paldea called? Area 0, obviously. How many years ago was this academy founded? 805 years ago. Which of these did not appear in the Paldean fairy tale about the 4 treasures? A folding fan. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's one of those what is it, Chinese, Japanese fans that... Yeah, okay. Paper fans, right? Probably. Which Area 0 expedition member wrote the record of the team's activities? Leaf, Thief, or Heath? I choose Heath. How many years ago did Professor Turo invent Terra Orbs? 10 years ago, right? That's when he discovered terrestrializing. Your time is up. You must excuse that last question. It was too shallow and ridiculous to be on a history test, but alas, the director forced me to include it. So ends our final examination. You may ask for your scores at the school's front desk. Alright. Feels good to get a test all the way, doesn't it? Let's take a look at your results. I need 4 questions correct. I got 5 out of 5 questions correctly. That's what I'm talking about. You're doing your best. Languages. Okay, I only know English, so I don't know what that's... I don't know how we're gonna work with Englishes. I mean, what? Languages. Mr. Salvatore. Let's do it. Languages. I don't know what he's gonna talk about here. Pokemon language? What? What about the language? My dear students, how are you all today? Feeling good, I hope? Wow, I've never seen you before. Oh god, he's French. Salvador. My name is Salvatore. Okay, I said Salvador. Merci beaucoup. That is, thank you very much for your attention here in my class. I'm oh my god. Heroics, or happy, for this chance to re-experience my younger days with you all. Do you know what Salvatore means? It means savior. So just imagine I'm here to save you from spooky new languages. Ha, funny, no? That's right. My classes will teach you about various languages from different regions. You may say good morning or hello as a greeting, but people from elsewhere may say bonjour or salut. I've heard there's even a popular streamer out there who smashes several languages together and says elo ella hola, ciao and bonjour. There are so many regions out there in our world, and each can have their own unique languages. Ooh, are we learning about all the different regions? Gracias, merci, zizi, arigato, danki. These all have the same meaning. Can you guess what it is? Thanks? I know what what gracias means, so thanks. Kiara, was it? Brava, you're correct. And speaking up is important in language learning too. Gracias, merci, zizi. Oh my god. I can't do this. These words all mean thank you. I guess some of you probably knew at least one of those. Despite meaning the same thing, their lengths and sounds are all different. Isn't that interesting? And now, apropos for nothing. Okay? Apropos of nothing. Let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. When you travel abroad, you should try to speak the local language as much as you can, even if you can't speak it very well. I'm sure your willingness to try will make the people you meet tres haux very happy. That's how I pronounce that. Honestly, from my experience, just being able to say hello, delicious, and thank you in the local language will get you pretty far. For everything else, just pretend you're Mr. Mime and gesture away. Oh, there's that Pesky's bell. I guess that's all the time we have for today. Well, adios. Matane. A la prochaine. See you later, everyone. Okay. I took a look at the board behind him, and it had a picture of a lowland Raichu. So that's the language of... What's the language called? What's Hawaii's language called? Hawaiian? Yeah, right. It's obviously Hawaiian. Yeah, so that language is Hawaiian. Let's see, we got Kalos, which is French. Paldea is Spanish. I think that's all the ones that pop out at me. Yeah, look at there's Raichu, and then there's Hawaiian Raichu. I mean, Alolan Raichu. And I guess that's a picture of Alola. Cool. My dear friends, how are you all today? Feeling absolutely fantastic, I hope? It's time for Salvatore's language lesson. Êtes-vous prêts? Are you ready, everyone? You can answer with yes or oui. Oui. C'est super. In our last class, I believe I taught you all how to say thank you in other languages, right? In le cours d'oratoire, today's class, we will learn about a certain word sure to make people happy when you use it in your travels abroad. What word, you ask? Well, you will have to guess. Oh my god. Can anyone tell me what these words mean? Delicieux how chi borno. I'm guessing delicious? Correct, c'est super. I knew I could count on you. All these words mean delicious. Using the local word for delicious at markets or restaurants is sure to get a big soiree, a smile, that is, from whoever you're talking to. It'll make communication go more smoothly, I guarantee it. People love it when someone says the cuisine of their homeland is delicious. Who wouldn't be happy to receive such a compliment? And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. The first step to smooth communication is to compliment the person you're talking to. After all, it's not very likely that a compliment would put someone in a bad mood. This doesn't only apply to people in other regions either. It's the same for all of you too. You could put this tip to use with your classmates. How about y'all try complimenting each other after class? I bet it'll make for an ambiance plus sympathetic, a more friendly atmosphere. That's all for today. See you all approaching course next lesson. That is, adios. Matane. God. I'm gonna fail this class. If he's gonna ask, like, which one of these words means delicious in a different language, I would be stumped. I would be lost. Salvatore. Class will begin soon. My dear friends, how are y'all today? It's time for another one of Salvatore's language lessons. Êtes-vous prêts? Are you ready? Êtes-vous prêts? Are you ready? Oui. I put yes. Très bien. Very good. My lessons are not a one-way street. No. I am très triste when no one speaks up. Very sad, that is. In our last class, I believe I taught you all how to say delicious in other languages, right? In le cours okay. Today's class, we will learn about a very special phrase that you could put to use when the time is just right. I should. Shiteru, je t'aime, te amo, it's liebe dich. Does anyone know what these phrases mean? I love you. Right? That sounds right? Yeah. Fantastique! Correct, you deserve a medale d'or or a gold medal. These three phrases you may know, I think. Why? Because they're all quite famous ways to say I love you. Oh my, have I embarrassed you all, my friends? What timidest little gargons et filets? Shy boys and girls, that is. It's so very important to express your feelings about things to others, you know? This is especially true for positive emotions. If you get married someday and argue with your spouse over some silly little thing, all you have to do is apologize and say I love you, et tout ira bien, and all will be well, that is. I should know. Why, just last week I had a big argument with my dear wife, that is. But I was quick to say I'm sorry and all was well. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. It's best to be quick to apologize when you have an argument with someone. That goes for your families, friends, and your crushes. I know you can do it. I believe in you. Our approaching course, our next class, will be the midterm exam. Be sure to review what we learned in our lessons so far. Adios. Oh my god. I didn't ever think that the school or Pokemon ever would ever talk about love. I didn't think Pokemon would ever mention anything about saying I love you to someone. You know, the anime, the games. Never thought they would ever do that, but here we are. Here we are. I mean, I guess the closest thing in the anime to crushes we've had was Serena with Ash, but she never well, she did mention it, right? She did like him. I don't know. Anyways, relax and do your best. Are you ready? Let's begin. Gracias, arigato, merci, all share the same meaning. What is it? Thank you. Which of the following means delicious? Okay, well that one's easy enough. Which of these phrases don't belong? Oh my god. Time to eat. Right? Time to eat. When speaking with a person, what is the first step to smooth communication? Compliment them. Bury them in flattery. Get mad at them. What is your beloved teacher's name? What? Okay. Salvatore. Si es fini. Time is up. Put your pens down. I hope that was easy enough for you, especially your dernier question, that last question. I'm sure y'all did great. Bravo, my friends. You could check your scores at the school's front desk. I hope I passed. That was hard. That was real hard. Feels good to get a test out of the way. And you answered 5 of 5 questions correctly. That's a passing score. Congratulations. Mr. Salvatore asked us to give this reward to any students who pass the exam. Okay. Keep doing your best. Alright, let's keep going. Class will begin soon. Oh my god. School is crazy. How did you like the midterm exam? Y'all did really great. We're halfway there, and now time for another lesson. Êtes vos prêts? Are you ready? Oui. Très bonne réponse. Réponse. Great answer. Merci, my friends. I knew I could count on you stars. Leading up to the midterm, we learn all sorts of words from different regions. Starting today, though, I'll be throwing a curveball before we begin listening comprehension. Voici Go for it, my assistant. Pikachu! Oh my god, it's so cute! As you just heard, Pokemon can also use words to communicate. It's not always easy for us to understand them, but their words have meaning just as ours do. Pokemon can use language to share all kinds of information with each other, like the location of food or whether there may be predators nearby. The same Pokemon's cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. I'm sure you're all curious, so Hui, today that is, let's learn some Pokemon language. Jete Pri, if you would be so kind, Pikachu. Pika! What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? Happiness? It's not happiness at all. When Pikachu says, Pika! It's angry, right? Yep, okay. I got that afterward. That's right. My little Pikachu friend here pretend to be angry for us. Don't you think he did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause, everyone. The same Pokemon can even communicate its feelings in many different ways. The voices change depending on the mood and physical condition. Try listening more carefully to Pokemon. You might gain a deeper understanding of them. That having been said, Pokemon are quite mysterious creatures. Some actually don't communicate with words at all, but instead use things like electromagnetic or ultrasonic waves. Some even use telepathy. And now, apropos of nothing, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. If you poke at your Pokemon too many times while watching them during picnics, they'll get mad at you just like Pikachu just demonstrated. Yeah, don't poke them at a picnic too many times. Nice advice. Okay, next one. God, it is so hard to speak like this person. Just because he uses so many different languages. So far he's used French, Spanish, German. That's all I recognize. French, Spanish, and German. And of course English. My dear friends, how are you all today? I hope you're doing marvelously well. It's time for another Salvatore's language lessons. Êtes vos prêts? Are you ready? Oui. I would expect no less from my excellent friends. Even your replies to my questions are excellent. Today we will once again be focusing on listening. Go for it, my assistant, Pikachu. Pikachu! As you may remember from our last class, the same Pokemon's cries may sound different depending on what it wants to say. Today, that is, we will be learning more about the language used by Pokemon. If you would be so kind, Pikachu. Pika. That sounds a little bleak, doesn't it? Its voice seems a little low pitched too. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey just now? Sadness? Ding ding ding, that's right, fantastique. When Pikachu says, Pika, it's expressing sadness. Kinda makes you want to cry, doesn't it? That's right, I had my little Pikachu cry as if it was crying. Haha, funny joke, right? Don't think it did a great job? Give Pikachu a round of applause. And now, let me give you all one of my wise words of advice. If you hear one of your Pokemon making sad noises like this one, you should treat them with even more kindness than usual. Well, you probably already knew that, though. A piece of cake for you all, I'm sure. Of course, this goes for your classmates and others as well. Friends should support each other in times of sadness. I truly hope that you all can have smiles on your face all the time, my friends. Our Pro-Change Curs, next lesson that is, will be our final lesson together. I hope you're ready for the climactic finale. Adios. Matane. Okay. Adios, matane. What language is matane? I feel like I've heard that before, but I don't know what language it is. I've heard it before, somewhere. Forget where. Class will begin soon. My dear friends, how are y'all today? It's time for the last of Salvatore's language lessons. Are you ready? Yes. What a response, fantastique. Great answer, that is. Perfect for our last class together, I love it. Today we will once again be having a listening lesson. Go for it, my assistant, Pikachu. Let's get right to it, my little Pikachu friend. For our last listening lesson, tell everyone how you're feeling right now. S'il vous plaît. S'il te plaît? Is that what he said? Okay, he says, Cha! Ooh, can you feel it? That's one contagious emotion in Pikachu's voice. What emotion do you suppose Pikachu was trying to convey? Happiness. Well done. I'm so happy that you got it right. That you got it right. When Pikachu says, Cha! It's expressing happiness. Doesn't it make you just want to break out into a happy dance? But I didn't have to ask Pikachu to put on an act today. Oh no, I simply asked it to show you all how it felt about getting to have a class with you. Getting to meet so many new friends and study together in this class with you. It's made both me and my little Pikachu very happy. And now, let me give you one last word of advice. As you live your lives, I'm sure you will all have times when you get mad or sad, maybe even more than you would like. Everything has its ups and downs. Life is a veritable roller coaster. But à la fin, in the end that is, there is surely happiness waiting for you. So gardes la sourire. Keep a smile on your face, even in the hardest of times. Cha! When you're faced with a problem that you can't handle alone, find someone to rely on. Can be it a teacher, your family, your friends, anyone. Our approaching Kura's next lesson will be our final exam. Be sure to review what we learned in all our lessons so far. Adios, matane. I could not speak like him. I just can't do it. It is just not possible. It's not possible for me. Language final. Today we take our final exam. Détendez-vous, relax that is, and do your best. Êtes prêts? Are you ready? Let's begin. Which of these words means delicious? Which of these two foreign phrases mean j'attends? Okay. I'm assuming it's I love you. Piga! Based on what you heard, what emotion do you think he's showing? Anger. Cha! Okay. Happiness. What is your beloved teacher's name? Salvatore. I assume the obligatory denier question, last question that is, gave you no trouble. Nope, I thought it was Lavador. Imagine. Imagine I put Labrador. He's a Labrador. Alright, that class wasn't too hard, except just reading what he's saying on the screen. That's the hardest part, but I think I passed the test. 5 out of 5. Passing score. I get a reward. Thank you. Keep doing your best.